Imagine building your own ATM with code. Sounds impossible? Not anymore. Follow Boston Mpundu on YouTube to see his working Zanaco ATM in C++, full C++ series from Part 1 to the final build. Subscribe now, leave a comment, and start building your knowledge today. Sponsored by One Lore and Rubtech.
Hello, distinguished students. Welcome to my channel of Empowering Knowledge in Computer Science. I am a perfect tutor, Mr. Mpundu Boston. In our last video, we looked about programming languages. And today's in part 4, we'll continue by looking at types of programming errors. Stay tuned. So the lesson for today is about programming errors. Okay, so what is programming errors? These are mistakes made by a programmer when writing code that cause a program to behave incorrectly. So now, remember, in programming, we have a lot of type of errors, but for today, we'll continue or we'll only focus on 4, which are logic error, semantic, runtime, as well as syntax errors. Is that okay? So let's proceed. At this time now, I want to make an emphasis on these first 3 errors listed here, which includes logic, semantic, and runtime errors. So this statement is for the first 3 errors. So let's look at these 2 logic and semantic errors. So these 2, they allow the program to run even though the input is incorrect. Okay? So now what will happen if the input is incorrect? The output will be what? Wrong. Is that okay? All right. Now, runtime. Runtime, this is considered in these three layers. On these 3 layers are considered to be special. It also allows the program to run even though the input is wrong, but it crashes while running. In short, I'm saying that runtime error happen while the program is running. The code compile, but it may crash during execution when it meets the invalid input or operation, such as division by 0. As you know that every program that runs with division by 0 are considered to be what? An error. Or invalid array index or file not to be found. Is that okay? All right. If at all, then let's proceed to syntax error. So what is syntax error? Syntax error is the one which is more complex and difficult when you are doing or when you are programming. So what happened? So if you intended to put the incorrect inputs or you missed some rules, it will not permit you to proceed until you correct it. It is different with logic and semantic errors. This one don't run. So in short, you're saying program cannot run until syntax error are fixed. Simple. Let's now look at each one in details. A logic error occurs when the program runs without crashing but does not produce the correct result because the logic or formula is incorrect. We talked about logic errors runs, then the output is incorrect. Same as semantic error runs, but the output is incorrect if the input was incorrect. Simple. Second, semantic error occurs when the program runs correctly in terms of syntax, but the meaning or intention of the code is wrong, producing incorrect output. Runtime error occurs while the program is running, usually due to illegal operation or unexpected situation that the computer cannot handle. Like I said, when the program encountered division by 0, invalid index, or found not to be what? To be found, it produce what? An error called runtime errors, as well as, or which leads to your program to crash. Is that okay? If at all, then let's proceed. The last one, but not the least, syntax error occur when the code violates the rules of the programming language. The program cannot run until the error is fixed. So, as long as the program contains some errors, you will not proceed to the next line until you fix it. Is that okay? So, having known this type of errors in programming, specifically C++, now let's look at how do we correct errors. Okay, how do we correct errors? So when we are talking about errors, just let's say, imagine you are typing just a formal letter, then you encountered with long spellings. Okay, so how do we correct those sentences and grammar? Okay, we backspace on our keyboard, trying to put the correct word or sentence. Is that okay? So even in programming, we do the same. How do we correct errors? Okay, so the process now of correcting errors in programming is called debugging. So we'll look at now what's the difference between debugging and bug. To begin with, debugging is the process of finding, analyzing, and correcting errors. I said debugging is the process of finding, analyzing, and correcting errors. While bugs are mistakes. Every mistake that you made, every incorrect sentence that you insert in your program are called what? Bug. But if now you realize that I have made a mistake, I want to correct it, that process is called debugging. Is that okay? So the difference is that debugging is the process of finding, analyzing, and correcting errors, while bug a mistake in program that cause it to produce wrong result or crash. Is that okay? If at all, let's proceed. So now let's look at each type of error with an example and how we can correct each type of error in C++. To begin with, we have a logic error. So in example 1 here, the programmer intended to calculate area. Okay, now let's check the input. He declared very well, area is equal to length plus width. Now, he wanted to calculate what? Area. Okay? He wanted to calculate area. Now, if I may ask, how do we calculate area? Do we have to put this operator? The answer is no. So now, how do we correct? So we said logic error allows the program to run even though the input is incorrect. But what will be the result for this? It will produce the incorrect what? Result. The system will do what? Will add length plus width. So we'll see now how we can correct this. Is that okay? So we'll check how we can correct this. If at all, then let's proceed. Next, we have semantic error. So here the programmer intended to do what? The program intended to add, but he put what? He put the negative there, minus. Okay, so the program will run, but the output will be wrong. Next, runtime. Here, where I said when it meets the division by 0, the program will do what? Will crash. Next, we have syntax error. Here, Let's check. See out. Hello world. Yeah. So what is the error that we may encounter here? So we have violated what? The law of what? Syntax. So there's something which is missing here. So now let's now try to find how we can correct these errors. So the first thing that we have done here, we have identified the errors. And this process is called what? Bug. We have seen what? We have seen that there is mistakes. Now let's go to the process of analyzing and correcting errors, which is called debugging. So we have seen errors. Now let's see debug them. So here we said logic errors. The programmer wanted to do what? To calculate errors. So it's just a matter of putting what? Multiplication. Is that okay? It means we are done. Next, here we said program intended to add. So it's just a matter of putting addition. You see? Simple. Here we say it's division by 0. So we need to avoid the program which may lead to division by 0. Is that okay? So we change it by 2. Next, we say here we have noticed that it has violated the what? The syntax what? Rule of programming. So we need to put what? A semicolon. We add a semicolon. Is that okay? So if at all, this is the lesson that I have for you on type of errors in C++. I'm your perfect tutor, guys, Mr. Boston. You can support this channel, guys, by subscribing, share for more content like this. Bye bye.